Good morning to you, 8:25. Marty Bash, your host this morning. Thanks for joining us here on White Mountains today. And of course, beautiful outside, lots of inspiration, perhaps for art. One never knows. Rebecca Klementovich is with us this morning, a local artist, and some of her work is on display at Settlers Green in a pop art show. Good morning.
Good morning.
And let's just get right to it. Pop art. It's kind of bold, passionate. Can you tell us a little bit about what pop art is?
Sure. So pop art is a smaller version of a museum show. It started in 2007 in New York City.
Yes.
And it was because the artists didn't have enough space to show their work. And they started just using spaces that were being rented,
Sure.
so display with great big windows. And it just started really taking off actually throughout the world, so it's great that we have an example of that at Settlers Green.
All right, so can you tell us, how long when did this pop art show start? How long is it going to be there? And where at Settlers Green can people see it?
Right, so it's going to be here for about a month, I think beginning with September, they'll
Right.
switch it. And it started, Dot and I started emailing each other about a year ago, but it's been up for about a week, and it's by the Van Heusen store.
And how many pieces of work?
So I have about 6 to 8 pieces. The pieces are pure modern. They're based off of pop art and influenced by Andy Warhol. So pop art work is generally very bright palette, and it's very graphic. So I have these two people almost kissing, and it's very kind of whimsical.
Yeah, because Andy Warhol, of course, makes you look at a Campbell tomato soup can a little bit differently.
Right.
That was a famous work of his, and Marilyn Monroe
Right.
as well. And I can understand sort of pop art in an urban setting where space might be limited. But what about here in New Hampshire when it seems we just have these wide open spaces?
Right. Well, what's great about this pop art show in Settlers Green is they have so many people that come through that area that we could sort of be an example. For instance, if you go to Montreal or if you go to Boston and Portsmouth and Portland, they have pop art shows, and they also have a lot of museum shows. So when people come to North Conway and they see some of these shows, they say, "Oh, I saw this in Boston," and it just elevates our town in a really great cultural way.
Now you also you do canvas, you do paintings, but didn't you also do a mural as well?
I did, so it was really fantastic. I have it's about a 10-foot mural in Settlers Green as well, and it's very modern, and in fact it's the same art in the series, and you can see that as well. So what I love about the mural, it's so large that you would normally see something this big in a museum. So people that have never been to a museum or don't really want to go can just kind of walk by and see the piece.
So, of course, painting, a lot of people might be out and about doing their thing, and you'll see someone with an easel in public, and they're doing their painting. For you, when you did the mural, in essence, were people sort of looking over your shoulder as you worked, and what was that like if you did it that way?
Yeah, it was so fun. It was in the summer, and it was just great to paint like 5 feet of orange or red, and I did have a lot of people comment, and actually a lot of them said, "Wow, this work, I've seen these types of murals in Montreal." So I was very proud to say, "Oh, people can think of Montreal, just coming through our little town." So.
And of course, again, just looking at the mountains, the rivers, and everything. Does that also inspire you in your art to create a more bold and colorful type of work?
Yeah, so I'm becoming more known in using a more modern, bright palette with my mountains. So I have 2 styles: a more graphic, abstract style, and then I have landscapes that are a little more conservative. But sometimes I'll just simplify the mountains and use really bold colors.
And also, why is this sort of, I guess, important to have some sort of display like this at Settlers Green?
Well, there's so many reasons, but one is having public art really elevates our town, and if you have modern and fantastic art, usually that coincides with great food.
Mm-hmm.
So food and shopping and art are all very much integrated together. So, that's another good reason.
And how is it that you are sort of the first person to do this, and might other artists have an opportunity in the future for this?
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping we expand this pop art show, and that just more people sort of open up to that idea. I lived in New York City for 22 years, so I'm bringing a lot of that experience and what I've seen in the city to this area as well.
Nice. And anything else in the future for you in your artwork?
I have a show in the Rochester Museum of Fine Art with another local woman painter, and Aurora is her name. And so we're going to be showing some really great large mountain paintings in the bright colors, and I think I'm going to bring some small pieces called Blue Snow, and so that'll be kind of fun.
And of course, being an artist, you're sort of self-motivated. Can you sort of give us a day in the life of an artist, kind of thing?
A lot of it is marketing, as I'm here, and I love to write about other women as well on my website and through Facebook, reposting things like that, researching a lot and spending time in the mountains, sketching, and then bring those ideas to the canvas. If I sell some of these large canvases, I have to make a box, which takes about 5 hours.
Yep, sure.
So there's a lot of sort of unglamorous things, but I really love it.
Nice. Well, Rebecca, thank you very much for stopping by this morning again for the pop art show at Settlers Green near the Van Heusen store. And also, what about, do you have a website perhaps people can view your work?
Right, so my website is www.klementovich.com, and I'm also on Facebook and Instagram as well.
Nice. Well, thank you very much for stopping by, and if you're at Settlers Green, check out the Pop Art Show. We'll be back after this.